the worst when you're like done. Yeah. It's like, when we're back in school and you're like, oh, I'm sick. So that's just me for the day. It's like,
that's what it was like yesterday. I got the keys and it was like, I'm going to take my first day off work. I've had since I got the job. Be sick. And then after it was like, oh fuck, I'm out of the house. I'm going to start moving some shit.
Yeah.
Don't prolong it. And now I moved my mattress. Now that they're gone, I sort of have to force myself to move up. Better be a quick game and then I can go home and have dinner and win.
What's on the menu? Oh, yes. What, where from?
Italian
Oh, is it the meat lovers or the ham and cheese? Because the meat lovers one they put onions on, which I find a bit
No, I think it is ham and cheese.
Yeah, the ham and that's the grizzly.
Yeah. The canes have the name.
Yeah, it's made though, it's more like, it's probably changed a little bit. But even Domino's is actually cheaper than most of those. Dude,
I know.
It's madness. I mean, Domino's beats even if you
home make it, Domino's is still way cheaper.
Yeah.
My brother said that because he used to make dinner for like after dinner.
But I feel like you get better ingredients. I feel like sometimes the Domino's
and depending on who makes it, it might just be a pool of curries.
Oh, that's some. I got a garlic and cheese one.
Yeah.
It was like half of it was garlic cheese, the other half was just base.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's nothing better than that.
I always get the cheesy sauce with like pepperoni.
Oh, it's good. It's all great. Yeah, it's all good.
He's helping you out.
He was. He was saying, so I just called up the studio and was like, you just make it. Well, they say that it's fine for me, and I'm like 99%. I've shot like a dozen, 20, 16, 30 different flavors. I would have known. I have no idea. I think maybe he thinks the signal is getting shot out like a gun, so you're moving out. I don't think he knows people. Old English people that are very like stubborn, that are vegan. Just like have their own way.
Not sure what yet.
And then new cutlery, all that crap. I need to just for the next couple of weeks focus on saving some money.
Yeah.
I haven't even got a washing machine yet.
Oh, do you have a good dishwasher?
Yeah, there was one in the place.
Get in.
I know.
And washing plates.
I can't wait.
Looks like 7 handers in that again. Stingrays at home on Sunday.
Sunday at 5. Oh, that makes sense because I would have the wheelchair bus will be moving, so we would get it. So I'll have that. Yeah. Dude, the shower. You should see it. No, it's like a brand new place around Wollongong. I think there's been one tenant before me. The shower has like, you know those big white head showers? It has two heads. So that shower head, or you can turn this like cat thing, and there's a lower, like the one you can just like.
Oh yeah, where you can get like the one.
It has both, and you just choose. It's crazy, and I have my like own ensuite now, walk-in wardrobe. Dude, I feel like a millionaire when I'm there. I'm so happy. Dishwasher, I know, right? Dude, you should, it's honestly, and I'm not exaggerating, it's the nicest kitchen I've ever seen in person.
Oh yeah, because it's brand new.
Brand new, and it's like got the biggest island I've ever seen. This massive stainless steel like oven with like 9 fucking gas plates, and it's like, I mean, can't tell it.
I was gonna say it's gonna your frozen pizza is gonna look really fun.
Pizza, yeah, best frozen pizza ever made.
I was there.
What is that? Music.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh. Ah.
Come on, boys! Come on!
Well, good evening and welcome to Macedonia Park for round 22 NPL Men's New South Wales Football. Wollongong Wolves hosting St George FC. Both these teams are in a bit of a lull as far as form goes, winning only one of their last 5 games, and with just 2 points between them and an ever-increasing gap to the finals places. A victory today takes on increased importance. Tim Gibson with you for the call. Let's get into the teams, and starting with the Wolves, number 13 Daniel Solski is the goalkeeper. 2 Harrison Bunel. 4 Dylan Ryan. 5 is Banri Kanaizumi. 6 James Anagnosopoulos. 17 is Marcus Beattie. 21 Nicholas Olsen. 23 is Flynn Madden. 25 Alex Mashivecchio. Number 29 Ben Geisen, and number 77 Raphael Liai. Having a look at St George's team, and starting in goal is Daniel Axford. 2 Rocco Smith. Number 3 is Troy Danaskos. 4 Mark Rodic. 5 is Nicholas Kalagaru. 8 is Evangelo Souris. 9 Chan Yelchin. 10 is Jaden Casella. 14 Justin Poon. 15 by Antonu. 16 is Caden Wright. And that rounds out the teams as far as the referee goes. Joel Crawford is in the middle. Wolves playing in their red, while St George are in a predominantly white kit. Earlier in the year, it was a 2-1 win for St George back in round 7. And there isn't too much between them as far as the points go, so it looks to be a pretty close encounter, this one. Well, that's kickoff here at Macedonia Park. A mild evening for football this evening, which is rather uncharacteristic of the cold and chilly nights that we do get here. As Flynn Madden picks up the ball, and that will be an early set piece for the Wolves. Of course, Flynn Madden made his debut against the Wanderers last weekend, playing 77 minutes. As we see a set piece, Harrison Bunel has headed that one just over. A good early chance from Olsen's ball into the box. Haven't been scoring as freely as they perhaps have at times, the Wolves, in recent weeks, particularly at home. Looking to change that, and that early chance is a good sign. It's been a similar story for St George in terms of their form, although they have had a tricky run of fixtures in their last 5 games, facing Rockdale, Marconi, Apia as well. Picked up a good draw against Marconi in round 19. Just the one win in their last 5 games came against Mount Druitt. As mentioned, though, they did pick up that win over the Wolves earlier in the season and gave Apia Leichhardt a hard time last round. In fact, took the lead quite early on in that one and made it a nervy finish as well, as Harrison Bunel's forced to clear that away under pressure from the number 9, Chan Yelchan. Here's Suris. Plays it forward towards Antoniou, who wants to go down the line. Here's an Agnostopoulos. Almost a nice ball through for Masciavecchio. Solski will... Well, it was an offside in the end, although there was some firm contact on the goalkeeper, who's very much established himself as the number 1 for the Wolves. Oliver Yates had started the season there, but Solski has become that starting goalkeeper and has picked up 2 clean sheets and in fact made a couple of good saves against the Wanderers in that 1-1 draw. Some important shot stopping work for him. Suris looks back, and ball is now with Mark Rodich from Rocco Smith. Kalogaru looks down the line. Casela. It was almost a sharp 1-2, but it skims away. It's become a reasonably established back four for the Wolves. Dylan Ryan and Kanaizumi, Bunel at centre back with Ben Geisen at right fullback. The rest of the team has seen a fair few changes. Some more in midfield with James Anagnostopoulos returning in there with Marcus Beattie. And that's a nice piece of footwork from Yelchan and a good ball through towards Antoniou, but Daniel Solski recovers well. There's a question of a pass back. It did look as if perhaps Bunel was more stretching for the ball than he was looking to pass that back. A couple of shouts though. Kanaizumi finds Anagnostopoulos, who's lost out there, and Caden Wright can find Antoniou. Rodich. And not on the same wavelength as Antoniou, as that one goes behind for a goal kick. Antonio wide for Casella. Casella pushes it wide and will go behind for a corner. An in-swinging delivery here. A couple of St George players sitting right on top of Daniel Solski there. Ball right under, and that's come off the crossbar. And that was a great chance for St George. I think that was Rocco Smith who got his head to that. Oh, an early scare there for the Wolves. Here's Bunel. Wolves happy to try and play out despite the pressure from the visitors as Flynn Madden plays a lovely ball for Ben Geisen, and Rocco Smith's come across with an important challenge, but that was neat play from the Wolves. Here's Beattie, and that's an awkward bounce and a chance for Casella to run forwards. Plays it well. It was a good option for Chan Yelchan, who I think may have been offside, or onside rather, as see Rafael Liai make it down the left. Beattie. Beattie for Kanaizumi. Nice pass, Flynn Madden. In for Olsen, just behind the attacker, but he can make room for this. Nick Olsen goes for a shot. And that's bounced past the right post, but more good play from the Wolves. Well, it was perhaps a little bit of a surprise that we did get this game on here at Macedonia Park, given the significant rainfall that we saw earlier in the week. But to get the game on, we are seeing the field start to get chopped up a little bit. Just looking here on this near side, there's a few marks of mud that have formed with players going into challenges, and a little bit of slippage as well. It's a nice ball and almost brought down there, but Kanaizumi will mop that up. And that will be a free kick given in the end. And it's in a good position this for St George. be Antoniou, who stands over this one. And it's very close to the edge of the box, which can either be of use or not. It's difficult to get it up and down from that area, but it is closer to the goal, which gives the goalkeeper less time to react. Tristan Poon as well was initially interested, but here comes Antoniou, and that's floated well over the bar. It was an interesting free kick, really. It seemed to just sail over the bar with limited intent. Bunel. Chan, that was nice footwork initially, as we've seen from on a couple of occasions, and that was a big sliding challenge. He's certainly putting himself around, and that was quite an aggressive series of challenges from the forward, but we'll play on. Casella with the ball in. Ryan. It's given away, and Antoniou can look to play a lovely dipping ball in. It did look, though, as if Chan Chan was offside. He's putting himself around in these early stages. Looks as if more of a 4-4-2 system for the Wolves, at least. Of course, still missing Lachlan Scott from the starting 11. He has made it back to the bench and came on late on against the Wanderers, so he's rebuilding his fitness, which no doubt will assist the Wolves in this late season run. Sebastian Hernandez, another one who's made the bench after getting more minutes against the Wanderers than he did against Rockdale. So a few players starting to come back, as that'll be a corner in the way of St George. And of course, St George had a great chance from their first corner. Can they repeat the trick? It's in towards that near post, and Tony, you got an initial touch. Leai will have to clear that further. Here's Casella. Casella drifts inside. Flynn Madden gets his head to the ball. Playing in front two. Can also operate in the midfield areas as well. Of course, signed for the Wolves in this most recent transfer window. As El Chan is offside again. All about 15 minutes through this one. And apart from that crossbar hit from Rocco Smith, there haven't been too many chances in the game. You see Bunel try a switch of play that was awkwardly dealt with and can be pushed forward towards Antoniou. Here's Mascivecchio. And that was a firm challenge, as we see yet another foul in this game. That one for a strong challenge, and maybe edging towards our first yellow card of the game, despite it being so early. Here's Olsen, who stands over another set piece. Olsen. It's a nice one towards Bunel, who got his head to that. It was an awkward one that he headed backwards and it almost went over Axford, but goalkeeper got his hands on the ball. Beattie for Ben Geisen down the right. Ball almost runs away, but he can find Beattie. Kanaizumi. That ball will find Olsen, and it's a neat flick over, but there's some slipping and some tripping in the Wolves attack, which sees that chance go away. Antonio plays that towards Casella, but that will... Well, he's managed to keep it away from a goal kick. It'll be a throw-in in the corner for the Wolves. Olsen. That's a high boot given against the attacker. Kalogaru will take this one. Rocco Smith, nice pass towards the left-hand side as Justin Poon drives with the ball. Antonio. Some nice possession this, and Rafael Liai works hard to intercept that. But they're getting a bit of the ball here, St George. Kalogaru with another throw-in, and that was almost a foul throw, but will play on by Antonio, finds Poon. Neat work to get past Madden from Evangelo Souris, and it's now on this left-hand side with Chen Yelchan, who gets a good ball in, and there were a few tumbles again. Casella's down, but that'll be a goal kick. Dylan Ryan brings that down nicely. Antonio for Casella. Casella with space to move it inside and goes for a nice switch of play out to Poon. Good touch away from Geisen and a chance to get that ball in, but the fullback recovers well. Casella with a corner from this side. And Souris has come short to whip that ball in, but Solski claims that nicely. And Solski not pleased that Liai didn't make that run, but it would have been a challenging chase, even for someone with the speed of Liai. Rocco Smith. Geisen's header. Liai. Closing in here, the Wolves, but nicely played. And Rocco Smith can try to play it forwards. Geisen will inadvertently knock that behind for a throw. Suris back with Smith. Antonio. Of course, a native striker, Antonio, but he's been playing in midfield and linking things together for the away side and has been doing that quite well. Mashivecchio's pass to Madden's cutout. And that's Dylan Ryan there, who's put a hit in there on Chan Yelchen and will be warned for it. Of course, the initial altercation between the pair a little further down the field, with Yelchan's challenge quite hard on the fullback. Good ball for Casella. Shifts it inside Casella and has rolled that past the near post, but neat play again from the visitors. Beatty, Mashivecchio takes over. And it's a firm challenge again. And it will keep going though as Beatty finds Mashivecchio. Mashivecchio with a good ball in towards Olsen. It'll drop for Madden, but a slip. And Agnostopoulos will get a touch of the ball now. Liai back to Geisen. Towards Madden, a bit more tugging, but he'll wriggle out of that one. The pass forwards is not where it was aimed to go as Kanaizumi takes over, and Yelchan has put in another challenge there. It's getting a bit messy in terms of the tackles that are flying, and of course the field is probably a little slippery underfoot, which doesn't help matters. Olsen to take this free kick. His last couple have found Bunel. This one's a bit more central though and offers up the chance to get it a bit closer to the goalkeeper. We'll see what he chooses. A two-man wall as Olsen goes for the shot that's blocked by Yelchan. Beatty. Lofted, but to no one in the end. Axford plays an early pass and Antonio will pick it up. Casella. Back to Antonio. Neat feet and great ball for Antonio, who is offside. Do move the ball nicely, St George, as they have in this game, and it was an example of the slick play that they can demonstrate. Solski just about wait for that one to get into his box so he can pick it up. Liai brings it down Liai and can't find an Agnostopoulos, but Liai's won it back. Liai finds Anagnostopoulos, who can go back to Bunel. Rafael Liai can escape and looks to play a switch ball towards Masciavecchio, and it's a wonderfully weighted pass out to the right wing. Masciavecchio shifts inside and it's blocked, but here's Beatty. Beatty off the left, that's blocked as well. Ryan. Back with Bunel. Masciavecchio's gotten down the right-hand side here, but that'll be cleared away. Beatty and Agnostopoulos. The Wolves with a spell of possession high up the field. Geisen. Casella. Good pace to this game in the first half hour or so as Casella gets it behind. Solski came off his line, and that will go behind for what is a goal kick. Bit of space in behind for Casella in this game. This has been an asset of Nicholas Kalogarou, whose passing has been incisive into that channel. And Agnostopoulos, a good run from Olsen, but he can't find anyone. Antonio in for Yelchan, who's gone around the goalkeeper. But he is offside. A few of those offsides now going against St George. The Wolves getting their line right at the moment. Masciavecchio tries to flick it on and does find Olsen, but he's a little wide and in the corner. Olsen, nice feet, and gets that cross in towards Liai. Kalogarou's headed that away, but only as far as Marcus Beatty. Ball in from Beatty, cleared away. Corner for the Wolves. It'll be Flynn Madden across to take this one. Good ball in and just wide from Kanai Zumi. Bunel to Liai. Olsen battles for that and almost wins out, but it'll come to Beatty anyways. Beatty, and that ball's a little short for Geisen. He'll pick it up again though. Liai. Madden. Here's Liai. Chance to run Kalogarou, but loses out. And Solski will pick that up. Well, that frenetic tempo that we did have in the early stages has subsided a little bit as Flynn Madden picks this up. Towards Olsen, a lovely shape to that, and he's offside. Olsen, they'll bring it back. Wonderful shape to that ball as it floats away. Hard with their pressing the Wolves, and that's been won. Here's Olsen. Space for Masciavecchio. Down the right, Masciavecchio, he's been clipped, and it'll be a free kick on the edge of the box. There was an air of something cynical as I think it's Rocco Smith goes into the book for that one. You could hear the clip audibly on Masciavecchio. Good angle this for Nick Olsen, who will be certainly taking responsibility for this one. It's on the right side for him as well, both on the pitch and, of course, being a left footer. Decent wall from St George. And here is Olsen. Opportunity to give the Wolves the lead as we go through the half-hour mark. Olsen clips it and just past the right post. It didn't have much power on it, but spins away. Axford drives this over the halfway line. Ryan gets first contact on it for the Wolves. Leai will profit from the rebound. Leai. Casella working back though. Leai will be forced back. Finds Madden, who can't hold on to that one. Antonio. Going to be a yellow card for Flynn Madden, and they get it underway early here. St George. Down on the left again here. Poon finds Souris. Souris might be forced back. Here is Smith. Of course, picked up a yellow card. It's a decent time to be playing on a yellow card, and more pressing. Olsen relentlessly going after the away side. It'll be Solski's ball, and he will clear that away for a throw-in. Antonio, neat feet. Antonio again. Played down the line for Casella, but it's cut out. Here comes Geisen now. Madden. Nice ball for BT and almost finds Madden. Olsen's ball in, a cluster of Wolves players all hanging around the edge of the box and make their runs. Less than 10 minutes of regular first half action left in this one, and it's somewhat of an even contest. Both teams have had their possession as Casella's gone round Daniel Solsky, and that will roll into the goal for the opening goal. St George have their lead. And just as I was saying, it was a game that was still relatively close. That could be a huge goal. In the context of the result in this one, it was great composure from Casella to go around Solsky and then finish eventually trickled into the goal. And that brings the attacker into double digits for this season, and adds to his record of 5 goals in his last 8 games before today. Kanaizumi. And that just seems to be a bit of an unnecessary hit on the centre back from Chan Yelchan, who's continued to engage with his opposite defenders. Is Geisen, who will be forced to clear that away, but it's not far enough away. Driving forwards was Troy Danaskos, who's increasingly gotten involved down the left-hand side. A couple of times it's found the fullback. Picked up 5 goals this season, so he's been a threat for the side. As Ryan knocks that back for Solsky. Kalogaroo looks down the line. He, by contrast, on the opposite flank in terms of fullbacks, is still seeking his first goal of the year. Geisen with a good header away. Here's Poon. Antonio will send that behind, at least off Ben Geisen for a corner. Casella comes across to take this set piece. The second goal would do wonders for St George heading into the break. More floated delivery towards Danaskos. He'll get another go at this Casella, but he did look offside initially and is flagged as such. Olsen, if he can find a pass, and Agnostopoulos, who's had few touches in that midfield, Antonio, nice ball. And a chance Dylan Ryan comes across with a crucial intervention on Yelchan. Madden finds Masciavecchio, and Olsen's an option. Olsen clipped forwards towards Masciavecchio. Danaskos volleys that away from danger. Be a word here, Yelchan, who's having a conversation with the referee. I'm not sure if it's in relation to the fact that it's a little bit hard to see his jersey number. Masciavecchio to put in a challenge, and Dylan Ryan will retrieve the ball for the Wolves, but only momentarily. Liai can hold on to that and find Dylan Ryan. And now we get a closer look at Yelchan's jersey. We can see that it's been ripped in some capacity. Madden brings it down nicely. Flynn Madden couldn't pick out Olsen. Here's Poon. Danaskos can go forwards. Poon's making a run over the top, and that's a beautifully weighted ball. Yelchan couldn't get a header on it, and Ryan comes down the left for Wollongong. Bunel. And Yelchan just tugging at the centre-back's jersey, and not really sure why he's done that. A needless yellow card in retrospect. And he goes into the book now as well. Third yellow card of this game. Olsen. Ball's headed away initially and then volleyed further. Beatty. Can the host grab something before half-time to get them back into this game? Dylan Ryan. He's at flicked headed towards Liai. Good challenge from Ryan just about. Not sure how much additional time there will be here, but there haven't been too many stoppages, so wouldn't be expecting a great deal. Kalogaru with the throw-in down the line as Yelchan's again involved, and Yelchan can continue running. Bunel comes across to deal with it. Masciavecchio. Here's Geisen. Back pass was a little short, but Axford will clear that away. Here's Antonio. Ball running for Poon, but overhit. Geisen. Also extends a worrying run of scoring issues at home for the Wolves this half. They have had their chances though, maybe not too many, but still a couple of opportunities as Casella battles with Ryan for the ball. It's getting a little bit messy now as Casella with a slide challenge, but BT evades it. Olsen. Nice ball for Rafael Liai, who's got plenty of speed, and it's across the box for Masciavecchio, who rams it into the goal. What a time to score for the home side. Well, it's the sort of goal that the speed in this Wolves team can provide. Nice work from Olsen initially to play that ball. Liai able to get around his fullback, and it was a good ball across as well for Masciavecchio, who rammed that into the goal from close range. Chan is down here as to see what happens. He'll get to his feet. There shouldn't be too much longer in this one. That goal right on the stroke of half-time, I would think. And that's it for the first half here at Macedonia Park. 1-1 between the Wolves and St George. Jaden Casella opened the scoring before, right on the stroke of half-time. Masciavecchio smashed the ball home. 1-1 here. We'll be back for the second half in a little over 10 minutes' time.
I don't even look at the time. I just look until like that cheese is like browning, and then it's like done.
Alright, I think that's about right. Do you go like pizza tray or do you just sort of...
I don't even. As long as there's a flat tray from the oven, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no science. Oh man, I can't wait for that pizza tray.
Do you have a pizza cutter or you just hack on?
Yeah, I gotta stop at my old place just down the road to get some stuff. My pizza cutter's there. I'll probably end up forgetting it, to be honest.
Yeah.
If not, I'll just eat the pizza around. It's fine.
just tearing.
Yeah.
And the field.
Oh, fuck. I can, but I don't think it's too more money. It is for me. It's like $8 if I go in. Pepperoni. I like. No, the original. Because the loaded, they changed the pepperoni to different types. Yep. I noticed it because I started getting loaded pepperoni for like the same price, but the pepperoni tastes good. And then I got the original, and they were bigger, so they changed it. And then, like, if you can add mushroom, it's a little pricey, but like mushroom and pepperoni, like, yeah. Oh man, I need that. I need that pizza inside it. Better be no fucking pizza. Just get the center. Someone's gonna break their legs. Gotta get the ambulance out there. You get those vibes, right?
Welcome back for the second half here at Macedonia Park. 1-1 between the Wolves and St George FC. And it was a pretty action-packed first half. Plenty of chances falling both ways. The visitors took the lead through Jaden Casella with a composed finish as Mascivecchio goes into the book within the first 30 seconds of this half. The, I think, fourth booking of this game. So it was a nice finish from Casella before Mascivecchio rammed one into the roof of the net right on the stroke of the half-time whistle. Poon, nice ball in, intercepted by Bunel. Nice interplay here from St George. Selski grabs that one. Beatty for Geisen. Nice pass, Mashivecchio back for Geisen. Ball towards Anagnostopoulos. Here's Olsen. I don't think there were any changes at half-time from either team. Ball through as Yelchan. That looked pretty close. And you want to be careful with kicking the ball away. Of course, picked up a yellow card in that first half towards the end. BT holds on to that. Mashivecchio, that was his 6th goal of the season. And scored for 4 games before tonight, and nice, found the net in round 17, but here's Flynn Madden. Good run from Madden, and that's a save that was important. Danaskos can't clear that away, though. Here's Madden. Finds Mashivecchio. Cleared away. Good start for the Wolves, this, building on that momentum from the end of the first half. Ball in play already. Mashivecchio. That's cross will go for Kalogaru, and that'll be a free kick against Lehigh. Of course, a couple of players for St George are getting their second taste of action following their moves. Rocco Smith, who picked up a yellow card in that first half, playing his second game. Also on the bench, the likes of Jasper Weber, another who made the move. Could be an option later on in this game for a bit of explosive pace down the wing, but here's Geisen. Looks to go past Danaskos as Smith comes across and will take the ball. Rocco Smith. That's Danaskos who will get a touch of this. Smith. Poon looks to find Casella. Good header from Ryan. Kanaizumi for Ryan. That pass is a little loose as Caden Wright picks it up. Casella. Angelo Souris tries to clip that over the top, and Madden can run forwards now for the Wolves. Olsen drops it off. Good interception, though, from Danaskos, and that's a ball through that will be play on as Yelchan can get a touch of it. Cross has gone well over. Here's Beatty. Kanaizumi will get a touch of the ball now and find Ryan. Settled possession for the Wolves at the start of this half. Casella can only find Dylan Ryan for the Wolves. Back it goes to Kanaizumi. Geisen. Mascivecchio finds Marcus Beatty, and Olsen has a pocket of space. Good run from Madden through the middle, and it's clipped into that area. It's cleared away by the goalkeeper as Caden Wright can find a pass by Antoniou. Antoniou continues forwards, and that attack is halted. Beatty, fairly end-to-end as well in this game, as there'll be a Wolves throw on the far side. Ui. Flynn Madden goes for a shot that's blocked by his own player in Mascivecchio. Geisen will play that all the way back to Bunel. It looks as if the Wolves are preparing a couple of changes. One of those, I think, is Sebastian Hernandez. So the Wolves moving quite early. They're usually a team that make late substitutions in games, or at least later on in few of them, but looks as if they've opted for a couple of early changes that we will see now. The player does look to be Lachlan Scott. Leai will come off, as will Anagnostopoulos. So it looks as if Madden will perhaps drop a touch deeper into that midfield, and a real dynamic change up front for the Wolves. Some senior players in there who have been regular threats for the Wolves over the last couple of years. Hernandez coming onto that left wing, and Scott up front with Olsen. Lachlan Scott was on a fine run of form before that injury he sustained ahead of the Marconi game. Grabbed a hat-trick against Marconi all those weeks ago. He had 8 goals in his last 6 games before his injury. He'll play most of this second half. Justin Poon with a ball that will just sort of hit Yelchan. And it will now be a target for the Wolves to aim for, which is something they have struggled with. Here's Ryan for Hernandez, an opportunity to sprint forwards for the winger. Beatty. Geisen, good ball for Flynn Madden. Madden can cut this back. He clips it in for Olsen, who gets his head on it, and that's floated just over the bar. Good play from the home side, and it continues on a good trend in this second half. Scott keeps the ball moving. Here's Olsen. Hernandez, opportunity again to run forwards. Hernandez shifts inside, and that's a good hit. Well, he's been building his minutes in recent weeks, Hernandez, and he missed the majority of this season through what I think was a foot injury. Ball in for Scott. Lachlan Scott, nice feet. Man, a bit of a miscommunication between Madden and Olsen. Bunel. Geisen will struggle to keep that in. And now St George will make a change of their own. Jan Elchan will come off, and that'll be a change to their attacking structure at least. I think it's Nikola Skataric who will replace him, so capable of playing on the wing as well. He's yet to score this season, but certainly a capable goal scorer in this competition. Zuris. Justin Poon finds Danaskos. Back with Poon. Maschiavecchio working hard. Scott. That'll get through for Olsen just about. Olsen can sprint forwards. Casela working back in. Here's Sebastian Hernandez. Hernandez. It's cut out by Caden Wright. And Skataric is fouled by Beattie. Casella, of course, opened the scoring. Plays it wide, and Caden Wright picks the ball up. But that'll fall for Flynn Madden, who has dropped deeper as expected. Play alongside Marcus Beattie. And he gets a challenge in. Hernandez. There's an awkward fall for Hernandez, who is back to his feet. I certainly wouldn't want him to pick up an injury. Neat flick from Skataric. Here's Poon. And he can't get his shot away, but it's a penalty. Well, it looked as if he just lost his footing there, but referee going across to his assistant Hayden Mickelmeyer on the far side to discuss. That's a big moment here regardless for St George, and an opportunity to take the lead in this game, even when the Wolves were building their momentum, especially after those substitutions. Danaskos will step up for this one. Big moment this for the away side. And what a save from Daniel Solski. Guesses the right way and makes a great save. It's going the other way though now. Here's Hernandez. Flynn Madden can't hold on to it. Well, what a moment that was, particularly for the Wolves. They were just building some momentum, and then the concession of that penalty, however aggrieved they may feel about its awarding. Daniel Solski with a huge save to keep the Wolves in this one. Masciavecchio did well to get that down the line in the end. Bunal wins his challenge in the air. Casella back for Danaskos. All for Antonio, and he's racing in on goal here, Antonio, and well, that could have been another penalty against the Wolves. But we'll play on. Scott. That'll be a Wolves throw. And that's blazed over. Been a really action-packed game, this one. As we go through the hour mark, still 1-1. And this penalty for St George, the latest highlight. Bunal. Flynn Madden will pick up the ball and looks to play in Geisen, but that's a little overhit. Poon can try to race forwards and plays the ball towards Casella. Solski off his line to make an important intervention. Beattie comes the other way. Very much a contrast to a number of the games we've seen at home for the Wolves, at least at Wynn Stadium. This one has been full of highlights, full of action, full of chances. Solski clips it towards Olsen. Here's Casella. Towards Antonio, but that one's overhit. Geisen will not have to clear it as he The offside flag goes up. Beatty, good pass. Olsen forwards, Hernandez outside him. Here's Hernandez. Sebastian Hernandez gets his way into the box, goes down, but will play on. Here's Poon. And for Antonio, who will be forced to chase, but Bunel comes across with a really big challenge and will retrieve the ball as well. Down the line for Masciavecchio. Here's a chance for Wollongong. Masciavecchio into the box, and Mark Rodic with a phenomenal intervention. And Olsen corner. Bunel is staying back for this one, but Kanaizumi, Ryan, all good targets. That one short of the near post. Scott as well is on. Olsen will look to try and get his corner a little bit more into the middle. Well, that's short of the near post again. Masciavecchio. Geisen. That was a strong challenge there. But will play on. Casella. Towards Skataric. Skataric. Moves it inside. Skataric. Good block from Kanaizumi. He gets up again. And what a block that is from Lachlan Scott, the striker. Not sure what he was doing back there, but what a block that was. By Antonio's shot. Casella across to take this corner. Casella, good ball in, headed away. Hernandez further. Masciavecchio will latch onto this. Hernandez is making a run forwards. Masciavecchio a little slip, but Wolves have got plenty of numbers forwards and they can look to get on the counter. Here's Geisen. Scott's wide. Scott, first time ball in. That was nice. Flynn Madden with a shot. And it did run up onto his arm, so free kick the visitors' way as we look to be seeing potentially another change for St George. Bunel wins his header. Olsen over the top towards Scott. Scott gets the first contact. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez back for Lachlan Scott on the swivel, but will roll away. Masciavecchio keeps it in. Chance still on for Wollongong. And we will see that change for St George. Gianni DiPizio will come on as Caden Wright comes off. Caden Wright got through a fair bit of work in this game in the middle of the park. DePizio, another one to move across in the transfer window. Made his debut against Apia last weekend. Hernandez. Scott. Machiavecchio now. Machiavecchio. Hernandez can't hold on to that one. Antonio goes for the long switch towards Casella. Ryan will have to deal with this, and it's an awkward one, but Solski will get that away for a throw-in. One-two played, and St George with some possession. Goal kick to Wolves. A little over 15 minutes left of regular time in this one, and it's been a good game. Damaskos takes it forwards. Tumble from Skataric, but we'll play on. Nice ball, but Solski was alert by Antonio's pass. It's an awkward long ball, but the goalkeeper will get control of that. Axford with the ball again. Well, it's an important game this for St George. Currently 6 away from finals heading into this round. So that penalty, if it was converted, would have given them a lead that could have led to a big 3 points. Still time in this one though. Here's Scott. Damaskos will clear that. Bunel gets his head to it. DePizio. Hernandez. Madden. Damaskos forwards as Skataric takes another tumble. He's only been on a few minutes and his shirt is covered in mud. Madden, nice ball. Here's Machiavecchio. Machiavecchio can drive into the box. Good defending though from Nicholas Kalogaru. Madden. Wolves preparing another change. Hernandez, that ball will float all the way to Machiavecchio. Back for Ryan. Kanaizumi. Looks as if potentially Wound Sub Sim will come on. Damaskos brings that down nicely. DePizio. BT for Madden. Hernandez. Hernandez goes for a shot. The outside of his foot, and that's spun wide of the near post. That'll fall for Lachlan Scott. Olsen will chase this down. Rocco Smith for company, and that will go for a goal kick. It was a poor goal kick initially that just fell straight to Scott. It's another short goal kick, but this time St George will get it over that halfway line. Kalogaru forwards. Kanaizumi. Madden. Madden and Mashivecchio get a bit mixed up. Ryan sends it behind for a throw-in. BT loses out to Skataric. Danaskos. Nice ball for Skataric, but there's a lot of slipping going on in that box of the Wolves as Danaskos picks it up. Preston Poon can find Rocco Smith. Lachlan Scott brings that down nicely and plays a pass that Kalogaru should get onto. Here's Casella. Given away. Olsen forwards. Scott. A firm challenge, but let's play on. Beatty. Nice pass for Flynn Madden. And turns away from Rocco Smith, and maybe a yellow card, presumably then in the first half. That yellow card wasn't shown to the defender. Well, another free kick for Olsen. Flynn Madden is also standing over it. Here's Olsen, and it is perfect. The Wolves lead with 10 minutes to go. Well, he's had a fair few set pieces, but that one was perfect. Nestled in the bottom corner. And gives the Wolves an invaluable lead in this one. Well, for Olsen, that's his 11th of the season. Goals in back-to-back games now. Hasn't scored since mid-April, but has found some form again. As we do see a substitution by Antonio, who has come off for St George, and Aidan O'Shea's on. Beatty finds Madden, who's been a real playmaker today. Won that free kick and really showing his quality since joining. Hernandez, good cross. Olsen mishits it. Mashivecchio smashes it into the post. Ryan for Olsen, and that will go away. Looks as if there's been another change as well. Justin Poon, who scored against Apia last weekend, has come off, and I think it could be Jesper Weber. He's come onto that right-hand side with Casella onto the left. Indeed it is Jesper Weber, another player to make a transfer across to St George. That penalty save from Solski looks all the more important. Here's Madden again. Every time there's space for Hernandez on the wing. Hernandez takes his time. And that ricochet almost fell his way. Danaskos. O'Shea. Here's Mark Rodic, and DePizio can push it wide. Kalogaru on it now. Solski comes and will get a goal kick out of it. Change for the Wolves looks to be imminent. We're in the sub sim to come on. It could be Marcus Beattie, a straight swap in midfield. Scott. Can't win that header, but it's Madden wide for Olsen. He's drifted out wide. Positionally at least. Masciavecchio occupying a more central role. Olsen cannot keep that in. Will be time for the change. And it's Flynn Madden to come off. As mentioned, his contributions to the scoreline tonight. And Woon Sub Sim comes on in midfield to partner Beattie. DePizio. Slip from Skataric. Danaskos. Smith plays it forwards. Nice touch from Skataric. Weber is wide. Options in there. Kanaizumi, great intervention. Casella's corner. Not long to go now, and they need a goal, St George. Chance to get it back in from DePizio. Danaskos takes a big chunk of the pitch out with that one. Kalogaru. DePizio wants it in behind. Geison's across and wins out that challenge. Four regular minutes to play. Skataric holds on to that one, and it'll be a free kick. It looks as if BT's got an issue with cramp. May have to be another change here. Sebastian Duarte could be that change. Has played in midfield, a more natural midfielder, but has also played at left back for the Wolves in his limited starts. Looks as if that will have to be the change here for Beatty if he can't continue. Two-1 to the Wolves as we head into the dying embers of this one. Nicholas Olsen's free kick would be the winner if they can hold on here, the home side, but opportunity from a set piece of their own for St George. Driven in, Solski punches away Aidan O'Shea's set piece. Rocco Smith, and well, Skataric has just bundled into Kanaizumi. Rocco Smith down as well. Another stoppage. Kanaizumi back to his feet. Only seconds away from finding out how much additional time we will have in this game. Solski, big kick forwards. Rocco Smith wins his header, but it'll only fall to Beatty. Here's Beatty. Back for Ryan. Masciavecchio, nice feet and can get down the line. Rocco Smith probably didn't want the ball there. Good control from Kalogaru. Skataric, nice touch. Nice touch from Skataric. Beatty is doing everything to stop him moving forwards. And that will be a yellow card. Oh, that's an awkward one, and chance to get a ball in. It's come all the way across. Geisen will hack that away. Masciavecchio. Another big challenge going in. Skataric. Scott's won that. Lachlan Scott forwards. Not too many options for him as he misplaces that pass. Smith. I think that's 4 additional minutes here for the Wolves to survive, or for St George to grab something out of this game. Rodic. Kalogaru. Wide here with Weber. Down the line for Casella. Casella and Solski, safe hands. And will be that change now. Sebastian Duarte will be the change. Looks as if Beatty will be that change. He is hobbling rather. And of course picked up that yellow card not too long ago. Ryan brings it down but slips. Kanaizumi comes across to cover that, but Skataric's pass unable to find the target. Wide again. Nice ball through, and Kalogaru's shot lacked the power, and Marcus Beatty does appear to be down and in need of that substitution. Sebastian Duarte to come on for what little remains of this game. a bit of a discussion over the throw-in. It did look as if Daniel Solski cleared that away in order so Marcus Beattie could get off the field. And that is what happened in the end. The Wolves get the ball back, which is launched up the field. Ryan wins his battle. Olsen. Maschiavecchio now. Scott. Needs to hold on to it, Lachlan Scott, and that'll be a free kick and a great time to win that for the hosts. As we head into the final minute of stoppage time. Looks like they're going to play this one short, the Wolves. Maschiavecchio, nice run, and that's a misplaced touch as he looks down to the field. Rocco Smith takes it forward. Moon sub-sim. Olsen. Hernandez will look to take this to the corner. Rocco Smith will try to win a challenge, and that will somehow not spin for a corner. Bunel. Wins sub-sim. Needs to win this and ends up losing that challenge, but Duarte gets a touch. Scott. Scott. Just try and wriggle his way through. Duarte, and that's a foul from DePizio. Can't be too much longer in this one. Olsen. Well, they're going to take their time on this one. And Sim finds Geisen. Knocked all the way back to Solski. And we'll choose to launch that forwards right into the corner. And that's full time. The Wolves grab a win over St George. They've come from behind. It was Jaden Casella's goal that opened the scoring in the first half. And just as half-time was approaching, the Wolves equalised through Alex Maschiavecchio. Nick Olsen won the game in the 80th minute with a superb free kick. I've been Tim Gibson. Thank you for tuning in.